I come from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm here as a speaker. I am passionate about education. I am only 20 years old, but I've been involved in a number of educational interventions in South Africa, in Zambia, and in Kenya. Currently on a gap year with meant to be attending Williams College, but taking a year off to study and think about education and reform in Africa. So I do TEDx forums as part of this, information finding in poor communities in Nairobi. I'm interested, I think, in bringing out a true picture of the complexity of education and education systems in Africa. But at the same time introducing a paradigm shift in the thinking. So basically re-examining what have been the defining factors of many of the systems in which our youth go through, and presenting some of the research that I've done from these youth from all over Africa on what they really want from education, and looking at how social media, print media, television, radio, internet are changing the way in which we learn and get educated. So really starting discussion on how we can change things. I don't think I have per se groundbreaking, but I think that the conversation should go on, and asking ourselves a number of questions as we look into the future of education, especially in Africa. The most important thing that a small organization can bring is the information about what's happening on the ground. I think a lot of the reality is diluted in many big multinationals, across the board. So I think what we can bring to the table and what we can cause other larger, probably more established, more network organizations to benefit from is the knowledge on the ground, which I think is so important in bringing real change. Sometimes I fear that we get so lost in the high-level conversation, in the big words and in the big terminologies and research papers done. But the processes on the ground are evolving every day. I think, of course, on a personal level, I'm here to learn. I enjoy the process of learning and all the intricacies of meeting all these interesting people here. More so on a personal basis, I'm interested in scaling one of the projects that I began 3 years ago, a book raiser, and just looking to how I can, move it to the next level. It's done 20,000 books since its inception, and these books have been donated to 36 schools from some of the poorest communities in Nairobi, and I'm sort of at my wit's end on how I can move this forward, the challenges are there, but sort of someone who can help me think through the next few steps and plan towards that, and build my network around that is something I'm looking forward to do. The opening plenary today was inspiring to me, seeing sort of the people that have gone ahead of us as the future leaders of the world, seeing the discussions that are going on now and how those are going to shape how future leaders interact and the issues that we're going to be dealing with. So I think also for me on a personal basis, realizing some of the other issues that influence education in Africa. I'm passionate about education, but microfinance, healthcare, policy, government are going to be other issues that I have to be aware of and have to be ready to deal with. So I think really digging into some of those things and being exposed to them, and seeing connections across the board and how these are going to pan out in the next few years, I think for me is simply inspiring as a young leader on my continent, and looking forward to more.